Hi guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam. As always, I'm joined by Baker. Game week 18's done, mate. How are we doing? How are we feeling?
Okay, I think we got away with it.
We got away with it. We did all right.
Yeah, I took a hit. So I think at the moment, any time you take a hit, then you're very happy if you get away with a week with a green arrow. Definitely very happy with that. I didn't see how big it was in sort of higher ranks, but I did see FPL tweeted about like it was the most amount of bench boosts were played this week as well, because like
that is I think there's a loads of people saying, oh crap, I haven't played my bench boost yet, or I haven't played any of my chips yet. Which one is going to get me the most points? Oh, I'll play my bench boost. So
it's but 5% of the top 10k played it.
That's quite a lot. There were some good chips around. There were some good. There were a few players with lots of chips around. In the last 2-3 weeks.
5% played wildcard, 5% played free hit, 5% of the top 10k played bench boost this week.
I mean, the reason we sound surprised about this is because we're never in these ranks. So, like the fact that they're there and these chips are happening, like we don't know.
Yeah. So if you do well, like if you get a green arrow in what is actually a chip week, it's all right.
Yeah, you got to be happy.
Pretty happy. We had some heroes.
Hello to everyone in the chat. Hope you guys are all having hope you had a wonderful Christmas, first of all. Whatever you chose to do, whoever you spent your time with, and hope you got outside and got some fresh air and stuff like that as well. Very important.
You got outside yesterday?
I did. I went into the park run. It was like a jog walk thing. Yeah, no, it's fine. It was fine.
How are your legs?
My legs are fine today. We went for a walk and stuff today, but my legs during it, they were just like, they were saying to me, Adam, like you haven't done this exercise in about 3 years, mate. What the hell are you doing? So yeah, I got overtaken by a guy with a walking stick at one point.
Yeah, that's not a good look, but that's one of the weird things about park run is that almost what gets you is like I was thinking a lot about FPL and just general. It's the year, you sort of have reflections on the year, and some of the things that I really dislike about FPL is how much spite there is in FPL. Do you know what I mean? Like we all just hate each other. We all want each other to do terribly. Nobody really is happy for anybody. That's the world. Do you know what I mean? Like you see the timeline on Twitter and stuff like that, and everybody just celebrating any wipeout of anything that's owned. You know what I mean? Is everybody today? If you didn't, nobody ever supports Spurs, but if you didn't own Gay today, you were cheering when Archie Gray scored. Like that's what we all do. And one of the things I think like Park Run appeals to us is when you're like doing it and you see an old man with a stick overtaking you, you're like, I'm having you.
and weirdly though, everyone's so supportive there. Like it's crazy.
So supportive. Nice. It's not a race.
It's not a race. That's it. Exactly. So ours isn't out and back. So it's not loops, or laps. It's out and back. So you pass people on the way back, basically. And I finished like 300th out of like 335 or whatever. I'm a heavy guy, right? So it's going to take me a while. But even the guys, the 30 odd people behind me, when I was coming back past them, they were saying to me, well done, keep going, all this sort of stuff. So you're getting it both ways, not only from the people coming past you on the way back, but you're getting when you're going back past other people as well. It is actually pretty cool. So that was, it was nice. And then once we finished, I was absolutely blown out my arse, and the guy with the walking stick walked to his car straight past me, and I'm puffing away. Like he just got back in his car and just off he went. But we'll see him. We'll see him on New Year's Day. I'm sure. I'm going to go do the New Year's Day one, and then I think the snow's going to come down. So after that, I think we'll struggle to even get out.
New Year's Day part then. Okay, we'll go have some PBs on New Year's Day part run.
Sounds good. Should we get into our game week scores for the week then?
We're going to have to be quick, aren't we? Because we've got So we're going to do game week scores. Game week's over. Sunday night done. Next we play Tuesday. So then there's Tuesday game, Thursday games, Pod Friday.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to do dual, aren't we? Of review, but also what our plans are at the same sort of time.
Yeah, so I think it's more. I think it's more. We think about the players that we're thinking about for the next few weeks, and we focus on those games. Yep. We sort of brush over the other ones where possible, which is ridiculous, seeing as the guy on the thumbnail was part of a 0-0. But that's where we are. So yeah, looking at the game week score. So I had 52 points, small green arrow from 1.4 to 1.3 million. We're trending in the right direction, but albeit slowly, but we're getting there. Raya, I mean, I'm hating him more and more. Every week I hate him more and more. O'Reilly for 1 point. Anderson, my only saving grace. Like, Fulham don't keep cleans, but here he is. So then Virgil, obviously, 2 points, and Senesi, 2 points. Verts, goal, 3 bonus. Was exactly what I needed from him. So 10 points there. Semenyo, we take that. Saka found 2 bonus points out of his backside in the last injury time. I don't know where that came from, but all of a sudden Saka's got 7 points. And then, Foden, Haaland, and then Ekitike captain. So we'll take the Ekitike captain as win this week, which is good. And I've got Dubravka, Anderson, and Goodmanson on my bench. That's it. We did okay. We take it.
Yeah. I ended up 1 point better, 57 minus 4. But yeah, a bit of an unexpected green arrow, I'd say. And mainly it's just held up by Dubravka and Keane getting 21 points. Yeah, fully saved me because I had O'Reilly with, again, 1 pointer. Roden comes in for Timber. Yeah, my bench, look at that. 3 non-playing 0 pointers on the bench. Eek.
Yep.
And then Semenyo, Saka, Foden. Wilson gets a little assist, gets me something for it. Cunha gets nothing. And Haaland and Ekitike, but the other way around. So for those that don't work it out, what's the difference if you captained Ekitike rather than you captained Haaland?
It's 3 points, mate.
3 points, mate.
It's 3 points, mate. 9 for you and 12 for me. That's how it works. So yeah, we move on. Mini leagues, I guess, quickly. Week's over. So Patreon League, Henry Hun still top, smashing it. 65 points this week. Just had Sharda. Just did, as you expect him to. He's now up to 11th in the world, 1,260 points. Steve Bunn with game week of all game weeks, 92 points this week. Also had Sharda, as well as many other ridiculous assets this week. 1,182. Kieran Scully, 1,177. Yogesh hit his bench boost, 1,165. And Pete W up into 5th, 1,163. Well done to all of you guys. And then the public league, Henry obviously top of that. Alf Juan is 2nd, 1,249. So not too far behind him. Tom Turner in 3rd, 1,223. Rubaiyat Wahab, no change in the top 4 actually, 1,220. And then Surya has come in with a wild card and got themselves up to 5th, 1,210. So well done to all of you guys. If you do enjoy the content,
90 pointer in this kind of week, like when so many people are sort of between 40s to 60s, a 90 pointer, that's just like that's monstrous.
Oh, it was insane. So I'm just trying to remind myself who he had.
Sharda, definitely.
Dubravka, Sharda, Saka captain, Verts, Dorgu. Raul Jimenez as well, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Raul Jimenez and Verts.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had all of them. A game week rank of 1,924. Ridiculous. But GG's. As I say, if you do like the content, make sure you do drop a like on the video. And if you want to see more from us, hit subscribe. There are a few people that haven't contacted me about the giveaway that I did on Christmas Day. please do drop me a message and I'll get those sent out to you. And also, I think it was False Paradox asked if we could speak on Discord. I think he left a comment in the live chat whether he could message me on Discord. Yes, you can do. You can just, what is my Discord name? I can't check right now. 1 second. I don't know whether that's going to change anything. Hopefully not. But AC1882, you can come and just try and find me.
AC1882.
Yeah. Add me as a friend on Discord and send me a message there, mate. And yeah, we'll sort that out for you. Everybody else, yeah, please do message me. I've had a few messages. Where to next? We obviously have to say thank you to Crypto Block Dan, as always, for his support. He played his bench boost this week. So, he had a decent enough week. I think 56 points. He had a really good bench, like Dubravka, Anderson was on his bench. He got something like 30 points off his bench boost or something like that.
I mean, fair play for people that had a bench to be able to play, mate. That's incredible. I mean, I've used my transfers, but I've used mine +1 with a hit, and I still had 3 non-player bench.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So if you are interested in the blockchain or interested in crypto at all, Web3 gaming, all that stuff, hubble.social/Dan Hybel, you can grab some time with him. And he obviously knows his FPL as well as his crypto and blockchain. So he's such a nice guy. You can chat to him on the Discord as well, but primarily hubble.social/Dan Hybel. Thank you for your support as always, Dan. And if you want to join us on the Discord, this is the last thing I promise. 25% off in December. We've got a few days left. Use the code DEC25. QR code is on the screen. Shout out to all of our new patrons this month. It's been great seeing you all and chatting to you over Christmas. And, we've had some really nice comments in there about how supportive the community in there has been over some tough times for some people in the Discord as well. So, just want to say shout out to everyone in there. You guys are all fantastic. And if you want to join us, you are free to do so. And then we want to go games, I guess.
You want to start?
I think we'll start with United on Friday.
Yeah, okay.
Because there was a reason that I didn't want to have Cunha in this game, and it was mainly because I thought that Newcastle were going to be difficult for United. I just wanted to target, obviously, the Verts fixture against Wolves. I thought United in the first, it doesn't really show it here, but I thought in that first half, Man United were just so dominant over Newcastle, and it just looked like Newcastle couldn't get out their own sort of final third, their own third. It was really, really tough. The goal was so well deserved. It was basically just it epitomised the first 20 minutes of the game, to be honest. But Newcastle in that second half, literally, it was like a completely different side. It was like a completely different side, and they.
And the Mount thing was big though. Like, I think there's a combination of Newcastle were only ever going to get better because they couldn't have been much worse in that first half.
Yeah.
And then Mount goes off at half time, and then it was just too much. Is you lose Bumo, you lose Ahmad, you lose Bruno. You're like, okay, this is a lot, but at least if you're, for me as a Cunha owner, I thought Cunha in the first half was incredible. And having Mount with Sesko, I was like, this is fine. But the second it became not also Mount, they just didn't have enough. That's too much. I just saw this is that there was a video circulating this morning of Mount training again. So that looks like potentially it might have been precautionary. They might have just been trying to see what they do, but without him, suddenly when you start playing a central midfielder, the substitutions just got odder and odder. It's interesting on the timeline. You're sort of watching the Man United fans going, "What? What's he doing?" When Casemiro looked like when he was being taken off, and then suddenly they were just sticking a centre defender in the middle. You're like, "No, I can do a little bit longer than this." But I guess look. We're going to see this with a lot of teams, aren't we? Me and you were just trying to work out podding before this, and that's difficult, just trying to work out podding, let alone turning up. Like, this is the team they've got now, and it's like, how do we get through to the next game, and then how do we get through the next game, and how do we get through the next game? It's not easy. It's not easy. But yeah, it was suddenly a lot flatter. Dorgo and Dalot were still like the big threats, weren't they? I mean, Dalot is so good on set pieces and stuff, and like is so good at making those late runs. Is the chance he did have. Like at first, I just assumed it was Sesko going through, and you were like,
Yeah,
no, that's not Sesko, that's Dalot.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's to be fair. To be fair, though, I thought Sesko was really good. Like he's never ever going to be like your FPL pick, but I think he's so important to allow those players to make those runs. Like especially like in the first half, he did it a lot as well. But just coming into spaces that allows your Dalos to sort of overlap, and he'll be able to do that for Cunha and for whoever else, right? Who comes through that middle. You're right. The substitution at half time, which was obviously forced, made a huge difference. But I think United look a lot worse with Sesko not in it at the moment.
yeah,
I'm not sure that Xerxes really gives them the same kind of presence, and
it doesn't.
just for whatever reason, I don't know.
Sesko, though, the ball does bounce off him. Do you know what I mean? Like he stretches you, but it does feel quite clumsy with it. So then the ball does come back. So I understand why they sort of moved to like they start with Sesko, then go to Xerxes, because you're like, well, this guy can kind of hold it up more. But you want like Xerxes to hold it and then Cunha to get in front of him, but they couldn't do that because they couldn't get out, and therefore it just became really clumsy. From a United point of view, Dorgo and Dalot and Cunha, I still think the fixtures are better than this. In the next few games, they're the ones that you would look at. Non FPL wise, but the keeper, that's just like one of the best buys.
Yeah,
he looks like
Miles.
he's been here for 10 years.
Yeah, Miles. It definitely looks like they're a lot more confident with him in front as well.
His positioning is so good. Comes for crosses. Laments. It's just. I was so impressed with him. like 16, 17 million quid or whatever they paid for him. That's an absolute steal. Incredible steal. But then Newcastle, Voltemada. It's like every time he looks like he's going to be okay, you then are like, you see games like this and you're like, just doesn't want to be a number 9. Like it's not really him.
Yeah.
And like you've been saying is, it might not want to be that just sole number 9, but Eddie Howe only wants to play 1-9, and therefore if he doesn't do that job, it's not like, in my brain it's like, I'd like to see Whistler and Voltemada come together, but that's not really going to happen because they've got all these wingers.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have to play. Because they've got these 4 wingers or more, right? Doesn't matter whether it's like Murphy, Gordon, Barnes, Elanga. Yeah, there's just too many for them to sort of move to that. Almost, you almost have to go flat 4-4-2, and I just don't think that midfield will function as well with if you didn't have like Tonali, Joelinton, and Brunner in there as well. Just don't think it will quite work. As much. So I'm like the Burnley fixture is obviously great. I would have. Well, I don't know what I would have expected or hoped from this game with Guimaraes, to be honest, because he's still got to get through a couple of games without getting booked. Like the last thing you want is to bring him in and then have this. Well, I suppose you could bring him in, have this game, and then if he gets booked, then you can find a way to bench him if you've got the players and the depth to actually deal with it. I guess that obviously doesn't fall in someone's situation like yours, but
I think you can let Newcastle guys go. I definitely think if you want to just go, I'm not going to go there despite the fact the fixtures are good, I think that's okay. Because Gordon's the one I like the most, and obviously the massive plus is that Gordon gets 90 minutes. That hasn't happened for a long time. He was just kind of always there. And, if he's 90 minutes and he's on penalties, that's also really good. But is he going to play 90 Like, how many of these games is he going to start? And then these, like, 3 in a week?
Yeah.
He's probably not going to start all of them. And therefore, it comes back to that thing that I've been saying is, it probably depends how many transfers you got. Try and work it out. I think if you've got 3 or 4 transfers, I think Anthony Gordon's a really fine buy. I think if you're like me, then I think getting Anthony Gordon, say for Semenyo, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Look, like you said, the chat is the video and my audio is out of sync.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like that. I think what we should do is we should take a quick pause and see if we can restart Discord and get it back up and running, because I'm not sure how else.
Like, turn my camera off, turn it on.
Might work.
We give it a go.
Might work.
We could try. What else can we do?
Oh, that looks like it's worked.
There you go. When in doubt, turn it off and on again.
That's perfect. I thought it was going to be a bit more drastic than that. But yeah, apologies for any sort of audio visual issues. Hopefully they should be all sorted. So where do you want to go to next? Who else interests you?
Well, Liverpool got to be interesting.
Yeah.
So
it's a funny one, because I think a lot of people were looking at, like myself included, like this Verts, Cunha, Hoki, and I just think he's been too good the last 2 games, and it's, I don't think it's a coincidence that he's coming up against the weaker teams in this league, and he's suddenly looking better. Like, it's not too difficult to figure that out. But I mean, I just think the chemistry between him and Ekitike the last couple of games has just been fantastic. They almost had the link up immediately in the first 5-10 minutes. Well, I guess from the chart it will show you 10 to 15 minutes where Ekitike hits the post, and I think the first 10 minutes, I think it definitely feels like it was an occasion. Like,
yes, and obviously it was an occasion. It was going to be a very respectful occasion from all around, you know what I mean? And there was a lot in it, which there should be.
Yeah.
And
then,
but yeah, you're right. If Ekitike scores that early one, I mean, if he scores that early one, they could have scored 4 or 5.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been a lot of game state stuff all weekend, really. Like, that, one of the things I've noticed actually throughout all of it was it's like managing positions. So if you're like, for example, Cunha, owner in Man United, then just suddenly my camera's gone off completely now. Oh, I'm back.
Was that what happened there?
I don't know. I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely looked at something and I didn't realize it was going to wipe out everything. Carry on.
Yeah, wipe me out. But yeah, Man United obviously were 1-0 up, which means that they're going to sit on that lead, and that's how it's going to work. Like with Liverpool, if they'd scored early, I think the floodgates would have opened and they would have scored probably 4 or 5. But because they don't, then it starts getting nervier, doesn't it, in that sense? And obviously then once Bueno scores, to go back to 2-1, then it's nervy again, and therefore when we're seeing similar with Arsenal, or similar with Man City, in all of their games, there's been a bit all weekend of we're managing. So that is something I just want to caveat with all the reads that we're looking at for this is teams are just trying to do enough for it. But first, he's definitely he's playing more in that central nice little place. What happens when they play 3 games in a week and Gakpo and Szoboszlai are back? That's just what we don't know.
Yeah.
He's a fine pick if you brought him in for this to have for home Leeds, isn't he? He's an even better pick now because Rodon's got injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the question is do we think he's now just a pick? And I'm not 100% convinced he's a pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's enough in the next 6 or 7 fixtures, or maybe 8 fixtures, where there's a bit you could let him go in a couple of weeks because they've got to go to the Emirates, they've got Newcastle, they've got City, they've got Sunderland away, which I think will probably be quite tough. Just one of those sticky games, like small pitch Fulham. We can call it small pitch Fulham, and that could be something. So, I think for these next couple of games, I think he's still obviously absolutely fine. But if there are other moves that you want or need to make, then I think he's still okay to move on from.
Yeah, I could still buy him this week. Like I've got defensive issues, but if Timber's okay, my 3 defenders are all good this week. And if Richards is back, then which the initial call was that he would be out for this game and hopefully back for Fulham. So if he's back, then I don't need to make a defensive transfer. And so if I was looking at moving someone, it's either Semenyo, play him away at Chelsea or roll, or you go somewhere else. And if I'm looking at these guys and I'm like Gordon or Wirtz, still, even with the fixtures, I feel like I still trust Wirtz probably a little bit more than him at the moment.
Yeah. But I guess it's still. Well. I think what I'm taking from, what do we take from Wolves? We just take from Wolves that you just continue to target them over and over again until, like, I felt that they were a bit more punchy today, and they still continue to rack up some level of sort of chances. They do still generate chances, which I think is bizarre. But I don't think it's bizarre, but they're just so bad. They're so bad at finishing them actually that, like,
yeah, I mean, they got one big chance, like 3/4 of their XG is basically one is the goal.
Yeah, but they still had others. A lot of them came from crosses, which I guess means that the headers are a bit noisier and slightly lower quality, but they were still looking to generate them.
Yeah, but I mean, most people do generate against Liverpool. That's
also true.
That's happened all season.
Yeah.
To ask some questions in the chat. Brian talks about whether Gakpo starts the next. We don't know. When someone's injured, I just don't know. Matt Bugsby said about Lewis Hall, decent buy for the next 5 weeks. I don't know. He's okay, definitely. And he should play. There's decent ones out there, but are they... There's only I think something like about 0.8 between Lewis Hall and Gabriel. And I'm like, yeah.
Lewis Hall like 5'4"?
Something like that.
That's way too much.
He was 5.5 to start the season, wasn't he?
Was he? Way too much.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, I think.
Shall we move on to Arsenal?
Yes. Why not?
Why not? Well, I mean, like Jasper should be up here for this, really. Oh, poor Jasper.
Oh, he's 5'2" now, apparently. Oh, he's dropped 0.3.
Okay. Better.
Still 5'2" is a lot of money.
I mean, get Michael Keane for 4.7.
I'd rather do Dalot or Dorgu. Like I say, I'd rather have Michael Keane, Dalot or Dorgu over Lewis Hall.
Yeah,
for sure. Or even Taco, and just spend a little bit more.
Yeah. All right. I mean, there's obviously a lot here. Like, it's really disjointed. Like the Arsenal at the moment, like their defense. Like, the thing that worries me about having Raya, is like this double-edged sword where he doesn't get all the points that you want from him, but he's reliant on the defense actually being good. Like, that's not to say he's not a good keeper, right? Like, so Raya's a good keeper. However,
I mean, that save was
ridiculous.
Best save of the season.
Yeah,
incredible.
It was ridiculous, but at the same time, like Arsenal don't concede almost 1 XG at home. They just don't do it.
Yeah.
So when that happens, Raya gets 6, and everyone talks about, well, you shouldn't have Raya because you should have Timber and Gabriel and whoever else, because these are the guys that could potentially get attacking returns. They are going to get DEFCON. And then when these guys aren't involved, Raya is still not the best FPL keeper because the defense isn't as good, which means that he's more likely to concede. So
yeah,
it is. I am in a position where I'm actually stuck with this guy now. And look, I'm happy that I bought him at 5.5, and I got a lot of good 6-pointers out of him. I got a 7-pointer out of him, all that good stuff. But now, like, it's just not. I just hate it. And because he's that price, you have to play him every week. Like, I don't play Dubravka over him in any game week. Oh, you want me to? Oh, hold on. So you want me to play the keeper that's basically bottom of the league versus the keeper that's top of the league? Like that you never make that call. So, well, I've got Dubravka on my bench for 11 points.
Yeah. Look, that is it with Raya. From a defensive point of view, Hincapié is not good as a defender. Not good as a centre back. Not good as a centre back, really. I think if you own Hincapié, like, there's a good chance if Calafiori turns out to be like out for a week or so, he could start all the games at left back, and I think he'd be better at left back than he would be at centre. Like, he suits that role better than he does necessarily the central defender.
Well, I'm sure that's where he spent most of his time, or especially in his last season, he spent most of his time playing for Leverkusen. Was out on that left side, and just become this.
Yeah.
Basically does what Calafiori does. Like, he's literally like the direct replacement.
Yeah. So, and then if you said, right, if he was left back, Calafiori's left back, and then Gabriel's back, and then Saliba's back, and Timber's back, and then they play the guys in front of them, then suddenly Raya's better. But the issue's always going to be, once all those guys are back and they are cleaning, if those guys that are all back are also scoring and doing stuff, that you're still going to be like, have I got the right one? But that's just going to be the continual thing with us with Arsenal all season. Last week, everyone was like, well, Raya's a better pick than Saka. And then Saka gets a couple of bonus, so he gets a little bit more than what Raya gets than Rice gets this week. And then suddenly you're like, did I really want that guy? Because Rice played right back, whereas Saka was pretty unlucky, really, in a way, to only get the points he got. It's a difficult when you've got a really good team, and they are a really good team, but they're also expensive picks. You are always going to fret over them.
Yeah.
I still think if I owned Raya, I'd just keep Raya. I've never liked the idea of buying him, as it's been very well publicised that I don't like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I just think it's too much. But I also think we're just also rarely, me and you, in a position where we've got enough transfers that's the transfer we need to make.
Yeah, but we're also pretty adept at taking hits. So it's not like if we need to get rid of him, we can get rid of him. That's fine.
It's a tough thing to take a hit on David Raya, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're literally banking against. You're literally saying, I do not believe Arsenal will clean next week. Which, in fairness, actually, this week could have been the week, right? I could have gone, I'll just take the hit now, and then I'll move on. But yeah, I mean, talking about the game itself, like Arsenal, pretty dominant, and considering how disjointed things like these injuries are affecting them, I think they've done well to pretty much. I mean, like they didn't have anything in that first half, Brighton at all, completely nothing. And it doesn't matter whether Rice is playing right back or whatever. I mean, he doesn't pick up DEFCONs at right back apparently, but he can still swing in corners and get points.
Well, they don't do enough defending for that, but they will shut down teams shortly. And I mean, Villa's a big test. You could probably go to Villa next if you want. Is because they are finding ways to score goals. But you almost expect it you almost expect it that Arsenal are going to be like 2 xg versus half an xg. We just don't know what the result will be.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you've got an easy way back to Gabriel, I'd have no issue with just getting him this week.
Yeah, you're not picking him for the Villa game. Like that. That's not why you're bringing him in. So if you can get to him,
you're bringing him in because you want
him.
The most explosive defender in the game, and you want the opportunity to have him. And the hope is that you have him when no one else has him, and you get a massive haul from it.
Is the most explosive defender in the game not Michael Keane?
Well, he's just the best defender in the game.
He's just the best defender. He's definitely the best value defender in the game, for sure. Yeah. I mean, yes, we will talk about Villa next, but I just want to touch on this one because this is 0-0, right? So we can basically caveat this one with Burnley looked good. Dubravka obviously gets all the points, and Everton have very little creatively at the moment without Dewsbury Hall, Ndiaye, and Grealish all being out. That's obviously really good for defenders playing against Everton right now. That's really good for those guys. And Dubravka was obviously great. I mean, he made a couple of unbelievable saves as well near the end. But at the same time, like Keane and Dubravka could have been on 7 points between them rather than 21 in those last 5 minutes. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we've got. I see with Burnley, it was about a bit. The chance right at the end for Fleming, which is a big old chance, doesn't show on here because it gets ruled offside.
Yeah.
It didn't look offside. But Burnley put a right fight up here. So you put that in, and it's a over 2 xg game for Burnley. It's pretty strong. Like Scott Parker will not be able to work out how he didn't win this game. I do think. King was. I did think he was actually brilliant. Like he just gets in the way of everything. He's just looking to hoof it, block everything. Him and Tarko have got a really good partnership. I don't see them trying to do anything else than what they're trying. But I can't see a way that Braithwaite gets in. I don't understand why you break up the partnership with them two, because they worked so well together.
How is David Moyes just not looking at his FPL points and saying, this is the guy that I need? This is the guy that's doing all the stuff that's being rewarded.
I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just think it's them two until it's not.
Yeah, he's a functional centre back who will just carry out instruction, right? Michael Keane. And as you say, he is the kind of defender that is literally body on the line. So he will get all the good stuff.
There's a lot of problems the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's probably the best striker they've got as well.
Yeah. But no, I don't see it. I don't see it with Brown. Wait, and I also think if he does, he'll probably be broken in a week's time again. It's certainly not going to chuck him in when there's like 3 games in a week and all this stuff. Like we've got 3 more game weeks in a calendar week. So unless he's back within then, which he's not going to be, they're going to just keep playing him.
Yeah.
So you can still buy Michael.
Yeah. You can do. I can't. I'm gutted, but you can.
Oh, you still can. We all can.
We all can. We all dream of a team of Michael Keanes. Is that what we should be singing now?
That's what we should be singing.
So Chelsea versus Villa. Villa just defying every expected metric possible week after week after week after week after week. Literally condemning XG to a death within the world of statistics by the sounds of it right now.
There's nothing funnier than the fight between XG philosophy and Villa fans. Just the constant anger across each other.
I saw 11ify getting involved today as well. He was like, if you flip heads 5 times in a row, that's when Villa win the league. Like that's what it means.
It's but and I almost feel like, do you not feel like almost the the Villa players are almost doubling down. Like, I don't know if you saw Watkins' interview, but Watkins' interview, and he started talking about the tactical changes that that Emery made at half times, and he called Emery a genius. And you're like, is everyone just feel like, no, we're not calling it. We're going to fight the data. It's tactical genius. And I think it's a little bit of all. I do think, though, it shouldn't be underestimated just how good a motivator he is. You don't win the cups that he's won without being able to work shit out on the fly and get the team fired and get the team believing it. So when Ollie Watkins says he's a genius, he fully believes it, and that's just such a special thing that Emery manages to instill in people. That if he says, "Hey, go do this and this, and this will work," actually, even if it's like 70% of that's completely right and the other 30% is just, I've got to sell you something because you're on your arse here at half time.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. But I mean, it should just be game over half time of this.
It should be done and dusted. I mean, but the thing is, like, Chelsea have made a habit of this, like, recently. Like, they haven't, is it right? They haven't won in 5 or something like that. And they're really kind of just stumbling at the moment. I mean, that said, I think Reece James has been unbelievably good. Like, he could have scored. He's on corners. He takes free kicks.
Yep.
And, him sort of being freed up to sort of roam around that, in front of the back 4 position and just dictate. Like, we know how good he is on the ball, like, in terms of his distribution and his passing quality is we know how good that is. And he's being allowed to actually kind of flourish. And it means he doesn't have to be so combative and he doesn't have to be so defense focused. And I think that's actually improving his fitness more than anything. Like, it's improving his longevity for sure as well. And that can only be a good thing. If, like,
he's flying.
Any point, like, he becomes an option, like, I don't think we need to think about, I say if he becomes an option, I think he legitimately becomes an option in, like, game week 21. Like, he's an option now. Bournemouth at home next game, and then, like, fine, ride him for the City game and you just ride him through, but then the next 7 fixtures after that are just like dreamland.
He's returned in each of the last 4 games, got an assist, got a goal, got 2 cleans. He's shitting points. Again, similar when people asked about Hall earlier. Probably go Reece James again, but I'm still in a similar boat where Reece James is now 5.7. It's a lot of money.
But he's doing the points. That's what happens when you do the points, is you go up in price.
But is he doing the points? Because I'm not sure it's enough now to just do these points. Because those 4 ones are 6, 7, 6, 6. Like, he's got to clean and score because he's not getting DEFCON.
Yeah.
5-7 is when we start spending over 5 million quid and they don't get DEFCON, it's so easy to get trigger happy on them. It's so easy. Because the guy we're going to have to talk about on the next, let's go to Man City after this one, is when you talk about good old Nick O'Reilly.
Yeah.
But because when you've got these guys that are over 5 million and you're like, if they don't clean or they don't score and they don't do both, you're like, why would I not just have these guys that are going to tick over, and even when they concede, they still get 3 points, sometimes 4 points.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So
it's tough today with like Mukiele got 4 points today. In those ones.
It's such a nonsense, isn't it?
It's such a nonsense. It's like half a clean.
Yeah. That feels like
away with.
It just, yeah, it does feel like he's just not that you don't even feel like he's earned the points. That's why.
Yeah, Lacroix got 4 points today.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
Lacroix got run ragged by Richarlison all afternoon, and walks away with 4 points.
But he walks away with 4 points. Yeah, because he walks away with 4 points because Richarlison is running ragged.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, there was a moment towards the end where he just punted the ball out, and I was like, I think that was his. I checked, and that was he already had 10 at the time, and I was like, That's getting rewarded.
Yeah.
Just punted it out.
Yeah.
And that's still that part. There's still part of me where I'm like, if I can have a central defender that might have a bit of headed threat, I want them. Oh, apparently, I got 3. Did he get booked? Must have got booked.
Maybe.
Still more. He still gets more than 2 all the time. And Lacroix could have scored. He should have scored against us.
Yeah, he missed a well, we'd call it a big chance. It might not have been marked down as a big chance, but he missed a decent header.
It's those guys. I'm still going to go those guys. I think over James, over Hall.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, about Villa guys,
Rodgers.
Just Rodgers. Just was fantastic again.
Watkins doesn't start, but it's there. But don't forget, this was a reminder to me that Rodgers doesn't necessarily do bangers every week. And when he doesn't do bangers, he does get booked a lot. And then they don't keep a lot of cleans, so he gets 1 point. Yeah. I'm not in a rush to get Rodgers. But the issue I also am finding is as Rodgers goes up in price, I'm less of a rush to get to him.
Yeah, and then you'll never get there.
Do you not think similar? Is
well, I've never even considered. Like, I know that he scored a lot of points recently. I've not for once considered to actually find a way to bring him in my team. I have not once looked at a game week to bring him in my team. I just haven't. Like, I just don't feel like he's ever going to be a priority.
Arsenal, there's like a little 3-game window where it's nice. But I know what you mean. Yeah,
but at the same time, like Chelsea are about to come along. I mean, I know this is the thing. Like, they keep winning, which is obviously a thing. So, like, will they keep winning every single week? Like, I don't think that's going to happen. But Chelsea have a fixture run that is better than theirs. Then, I mean, United have one or a little set of 3 now.
These are a better team than everybody else. These are in the title race.
Yeah.
These are in the title race, and there's only one guy that's nailed. Like, if we're looking at anyone from this team, it's got to be Rodgers. But as soon as it becomes 7.4 for a guy not on any set pieces, not on pens, not on set pieces, just pure open play, never going to get DEFCON, and does like to get booked.
Yeah.
Dan Banks just said Tillman's in the chat.
The thing about Rodgers is he has 15 pointers in him, right? Because he has 15 pointers in him, he should be a pick because, you know, you can take a couple of 15 pointers for 2 or 3 1-pointers and you can be fine. That feels fine. But even then, that's like 6 points a week. That's okay. That's fine. That's good. That's quite good.
Matty Cash got a ban, didn't he, for the Arsenal game?
Yeah.
I think he's out.
Yeah, he's now out.
That's the problem.
Let's go on to City.
But yeah, you're all right. Back-to-back 15 pointers for Rodgers. That's why we'll go. But let's not forget, like you say, lots of 1s and 2s and 2s. He's got 92 points this season. Yeah, this is like a 90-minute man every game. So he's got 92 points in 18 game weeks. He's had 3 15-pointers.
Yeah, so you got
half of his points are in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so every other week is averaging 3 points a week.
Yeah, he's got 15 weeks of averaging 3 points a week.
But then if you have him every week, if you have him, the thing is, we say to things like, if you have him every week, that's 4.5 points a week. 4.5 points is pretty good, but we have these things called transfers where we try and pick little pockets of 7 points a week. Like, we don't want 4.5 points a week because if you had 4.5 points a week from everyone, you would end up with 55 points a week and you'd end up outside the top million. Like, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want to make transfers where over the period of time that you own these players, you want 6-7 points a week. If you can. And obviously we like hardly any of them that go right, but a couple might. But if you stick with Rodgers, you'll get 4.5 points a week.
Yeah.
So you have to
It's
find the
tough.
places. You have to find the places where you think he's going to get these ones. And I feel like we've missed it on this occasion.
We've missed it, but after this Arsenal, you've got in 3 game spell, you've got home to Forest, home to Everton.
Yeah.
And that feels like a maybe period. But you can't buy him at the moment. You can't.
Well, that's in fact with Forest coming up. I know obviously we're not looking at it from an Arsenal point of view. With Forest, it's coming up. It's interesting when you look at the 2 players that have returned in this game for City, and you look at Reinders and you look at Cherky, and you're like, well, who plays in that kind of potential pocket? Like, where are these goals being scored from or by? They're being scored by guys that make runs, late runs from that number 10 type position. And guess who plays there for Villa? Like it's Rodgers. So, I think City were great again. I mean, they're just continuing to churn out. Reinders is obviously returning once again and looking great. Cherky's like just special. Like he's just special. And if you own him in FPL, you get to enjoy how good he is and the points that come with it as well, which is nice. Who is it that we spoke to? This must have been like 2 or 3 seasons ago, maybe, that just said like picking the players that you enjoy watching should be like the essence of how we play this game.
Yeah, it should always be. I think everyone says that, don't they?
Well, no, I thought it was something specific because it was someone more specific that we had. Yeah, I know, but we had Brian Mbeumo for like 2-3 years. Like, why did we ever pick Brian Mbeumo when he was miserable to watch?
In general, though, we always we want the players that make us happy, that get us off our seats. That's what you want to do. James is moaning in chat about Discord notifications on, by the way, and they're definitely not my notifications on.
Oh, okay, they're definitely my notifications on. I will turn those off.
Ding.
Ding, ding, ding. 1 second.
Thought Forest were really good, just in general. And I thought Milenkovic was incredible with Haaland. Like the strength, the number of times where it was tight, and there was that one moment where Haaland gave him the full shoulder, where he just knows he's going to body you. That will give him the chance to then hit the shot across goal, and Milenkovic just come back to him and then puts the ball out for a corner. That was phenomenal strength from him. In general, though, just really good. Mario Hutchinson looks like he's part of that team now. Here you go, Jesus.
Yeah,
White. Ballers.
Like the goal was cool. The whole goal was cool.
Yeah, lovely pick out. But the XG doesn't really show it in that first half. But I thought that they worked them really, really well. So I don't know what to take from City, because Nick O'Reilly, I keep seeing him and thinking to myself, I don't like this pick. I rarely trust Man City to get cleans. For years, we've been avoiding Man City defenders because they're not reliable on cleans. Not since that 19-20 clean season. They've not been that. Then you need the goal threat. How much is going to be there?
Yeah, I think, yeah. No, I agree with that. And I still think back to, like you said about over 5 million defenders, like if they don't get DEFCON, then are they worth it? I just think if any defender doesn't get DEFCON, they should automatically just be written off because that's not where you want to spend your transfers, right? Yeah. This is the thing. You don't want to spend your transfers on those guys. You want to be able to. I talk about the Rodgers thing, like the 4.5 points a week. Like if you got 4.5 points a week from your defenders, buzzing. Like I'm absolutely buzzing from that. That's great. Like cool. Give me all of that. But I don't really want to spend my transfers there if I can avoid it. And so having a Gahey, well, any of the Palace defenders, I guess. or an Anderson, or a Tarkowski, or a Keane, like all these guys that have more than one avenue to points, just feels better. Just feels better.
Yeah. If you're going to be just attack, you've got to be elite, and you've got to be reliable. Like, you've got to be one of the 3 or 4 ways in which this team will attack and score and do all that stuff. But they're not, because Shirky can score. Reinder's back in the team and always looks like he's going to score. Like, he's a problem just in general for everybody else, because he's genuinely a pick. But the problem is, the second he's making the late runs into the box, nobody else is. like somebody, other people will have to stay. Then you've got Foden, then you've got Haaland. Yeah, I don't fully trust him for cleans, and then I don't trust him that he's going to get the bonus even if they clean, because when they clean, they also win, because the City games don't finish 0-0.
Yeah,
not very
true.
often. And therefore it's like, well, I still don't back it. He's gonna get the bonus, and like you say, not getting the DEFCON, not getting the bonus, not always getting the cleans, and attacking returns are hard to come by. But like, they're not the staple of a defender. I don't think he's a great pick, but I also look at it and say, I could keep him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, out of the defenders, I guess that's the issue that I have with my defenders now. So I've got Raya, who doesn't peak, literally can't peak, and O'Reilly, who literally needs to score. I was just going to have a quick look and see where his sort of shot volume was in the last few weeks, because it was good, and then suddenly it's not good, which is obviously a problem. And then I've got Virgil van Dijk, who's a whole another problem.
Yeah, O'Reilly's never likely to be your biggest problem. That's
I've taken a hit. I've taken a hit already this week, and I've solved none of those 3 things, by the way.
Perfect. that's what we want.
Incredible.
Just check. I have the money. I could do Cement. It's a -4. Semenyo to Cherky and O'Reilly to Gabriel.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I definitely don't hate it. I definitely do not hate it.
That definitely sounds fun.
Bloody -4s.
But like, it's just wild, because Nico O'Reilly went on a period of like 3 shots, 1 shot, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, and in the last 4 games he's had 1 shot. Like, we're seeing the same regression that we saw with Calafiori, and like, Calafiori was never a pick for me. Like, I know, again, the Raya thing, but like, Calafiori was never ever going to be the defender pick for me from Arsenal. So yeah, I feel like he's a problem.
Paulie Juice is in the chat, though. The dip is also since Doku's been out, and just in general, though, this attack without Doku is a bit blunter. That's a little bit why Cherky needs to do the magic. Like, it is, and they might only be 1 more game week, and then Semenyo might be on that left wing. And then what does that change?
Yeah.
And that's another part with the O'Reilly. Suddenly, if Semenyo's there, and we know Semenyo will like to come in, does O'Reilly then start getting further down the outside? And then you just go, okay, maybe I leave it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if he gets further wide, that's where I don't want him. Like, that's not why we bought O'Reilly. We bought O'Reilly because he inverted and crashed the box.
I'll take it if he's getting assists and cleans. I just want more than 1 point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want more than 1 bloody point.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Foden, Any twitchiness? Twitchiness?
Twitchiness? Not yet. Not yet. I still think he's fine. I still think the fixtures are okay. So I think I'm happy to hold for now.
Yeah.
But
Agree.
look, what do you expect? He was never going to double digit for the rest of his life. So
How dare he?
Yeah.
How dare he?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
4 million for Forest keeper. Is that good value?
Got Dubravka.
Yeah, but Forest is slightly better than.
The problem is, like, the way that he got this position was an injury. It wasn't that Matt Sells had gone rubbish. Matt Sells has been incredible there for a while now. I just feel like it's one bad game and see you later. It's the same with Ramsdale, isn't it? So Ramsdale still played, even though Pope was on the bench, and you were like, well, they didn't win this one.
Yeah.
I know what I'm thinking is going to happen next week.
Yeah. And that is the problem. That is the problem. Sells is a prem level keeper, and this guy hasn't earned his spot over him for Matt Sells to sort of disappear into the ether.
He's earned the right to hold it.
Yeah.
But does he earn the right to keep it? I don't know.
No. I think I much rather with my keepers, I'd much rather have, a defined 1-2. And so, like the moment that Alisson was back, Mohamed Ashvili was straight on the bench. Like that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like I can't see that here. So at the moment, like for me, no.
Yeah. I'm still happy to see Dyche do well. I'll be happy. I think Forest will be fine. Negation and all that stuff. I think they'll be more than fine. I like a lot of the players that they've got. I just don't need to buy them.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about us.
I think this is like a straight old. You do not buy players from either of these two teams.
I like that. I mean, again, I like that. I mean, it's difficult because obviously we're missing two players for good reason, but it was a bit of a sticky game, and we got the edge over with one chance, really, and that's all it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, we completely broke them apart 3 times. It's just unfortunate that 2 of those times we were a few inches offside.
This is also true. So those chances would have been big as well. Like both of them would have been big. 0.6 plus.
There was, we ground. We were grindy, which means, I mean, I guess it's like, do you target these teams? That's an interesting question. Because I think where we do need to think about this is, there are people out there that have Anderson for Fulham and have him on the bench for this away to Palace. And there are guys that have Gay and Anderson and have a decision to make on those. For me, this looked like it was going to be a decision between, do I start Richards or do I start Wilson in this one? I'm definitely starting Wilson over Richards in that next game. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind of which one I would keep. And I think I would say similar. If I had Anderson. Because they're just so... If I had Anderson and Gay, I think I'd start Anderson over Gay.
I don't know. I think I'd take the Palace defender at home versus the Fulham defender away. But I would agree with you that I'd start Wilson over him.
Over either the defence, to be fair.
Yeah, weirdly.
I just think every time they have to play another game, you're like, like Mateta played way too many minutes for what they would have wanted. They wouldn't have wanted Mateta playing all game today.
Hmm.
Like Nketiah was on the bench, and one of the reasons why he'd been on the bench is so he could come on for the last half hour, so Mateta can come off. But now Mateta has to play 90. He don't get that time back, does he?
No.
It's like, well, you've played that. All right, you're now tired. What are you going to do next game? Well, you have to roll him out again. It's hard work for Palace. They are slogging uphill. You can see some of the movement in some of the passes for Palace versus some of the movement of our passes. They were so much slicker than us. They were so much better than us. But they were just a bit drunk because they're tired. They're tired, is they've not got enough guys.
This is not going to change. This is not going to change when Ismail Assar comes back. It's not like he's had his feet up. He's going to be tired. Yeah. It's going to be tired. So it's just going to carry on and on until.
They've just got to get guys in. They've just got to get guys in. But playing Palace at the moment.
Yeah, they do have to get players in. I just wonder how much. I wonder how much they will commit to bringing in key players in this window, given the fact that Glasner could be on his way out in the summer. And I think that's a real risk to a lot of players they have. They'll be screwed at the end of this season if they don't get the players in. But if they can't commit because of Glasner, then that's tough.
The huge plus on Newcastle, again, if you did want to punt there, like if you do want to go Hall, if you do want to go Gordon, if you've got some kind of inkling as where people might go, is you get the Burnley game, and obviously Newcastle play on Tuesday night, yeah? Then Palace play Thursday night versus Fulham. Then Palace have to go up to St James's Park for Sunday.
Yeah.
So Newcastle play Tuesday, Sunday. They play Thursday, Sunday, and it's at Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's a rough week for them. Imagine that when they're so knackered. And what you got to do New Year's Day, you got to go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's so harsh on them. And then even after Newcastle, they're then playing Wednesday home to Villa.
Yeah.
It's relentless.
Yeah, and then guess where they're off to after that? Back up to the northeast to play Sunderland away.
Yeah, they have got it so tough. They are working really, really hard, but there's only so much they can do. So I say I've got no problem. I think any players you've got against them, but I think the biggest winner for this is going to be Newcastle because this Thursday and then Sunday.
Yeah, agreed. Cool.
Let's bloody tempted to go Anthony Gordon.
Let's go to the Kevin Sharder show. Big chances. Big chance Brentford, and Sharder could have probably scored another couple of goals.
Yeah.
Does nothing for quite a while and then just it's a weird one because he is the kind of guy that can score a hat-trick. It's weird. I feel like he's in that sort of Justin Kluivert mold of those players that can bang and you just don't know when that's going to happen. But this was a proper ding-dong game and Sharder was just everywhere. It didn't matter. The first goal as well, I was surprised at how deep Thiago picked up that ball, but the pass through was just insanely good.
Yeah, just in general, it was the same as the week before, where whenever the cross comes in, Thiago and Sharder are really close. Thiago's all these goals, Thiago ends up within 3 or 4 yards of the goal.
Yeah.
They just didn't go to him.
Well, he even had the one that Lewis Potter missed as well. Although I think if Thiago heads that in, I think he gets called offside.
Yeah, I think Thiago was off.
Yeah, so I think it's it's one of those. But
I mean, we both sold Thiago, didn't we?
yes,
I feel
Direct
pretty
TK.
lucky. I feel pretty lucky with this.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a lot worse.
I just reminded me there, actually, we do also need to talk about Ekatike. We didn't actually talk about him during the Liverpool game at all, but we need to talk about minutes and
pivot back on
stuff.
that.
So let's make sure we do talk about that. Bournemouth, can you target them? Yes.
Yeah, and they're only going to get worse if Semenyo leaves.
God, yes.
Like this is the thing. So it could be trouble. Could be trouble for Bournemouth.
This has been what we expected at the start of the season. Like at the start of the season, when Zabani, Kirkes left, you were like, Howson left.
Yeah.
You were like, this is a problem. They've just sold 160 million defenders and their keeper, Kepa. It was a miracle the way they started, really. But now you're still getting to this point where Senesi. So in 4 days' time, Senesi can start agreeing a contract to go. He's out of contract in the summer. He's never had any intention of signing that contract. They've offered him many, many contracts. He's off. Juve and Inter, I think, have been the main links repeatedly with him to say, hey, once you go free, come to Italy. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But maybe they offer some money and he goes. But Senesi could have scored, to be fair. Chance of the back, but just defensively, they back. And a team like Brentford at home, big chance Brentford. Sharda, we're talking about this bracket of guys that are around 7-8 million. Verts, Sharda, Rodgers, Gordon.
I don't know.
I can't do it with him.
I don't know. The fixtures are still great. They've got us next.
Yeah.
At home. Sunderland and Forest at home as well in the next 5. Like, he's going to be in and amongst it, but also you're never surprised when Sharda goes 5 games without scoring a goal. Ever.
No.
So
it's like Rodgers to an extent, isn't it? It's that guy it's all open threat.
Yeah. So he's So he's basically. Well, I mean, Rodgers doesn't have pens, but he's basically Rodgers on a worse team. Probably.
But does have a habit of when he does score, it's similar, isn't it? Just goes big.
Well, this is it. I mean, the ideal thing was obviously to have Foden for 4 weeks, then move him to Rodgers for 2 weeks, and then have Sharda this week. Like, this is how you should play the game. Like, I'm pretty sure that Henry, top of our league, has had all of those.
Yeah,
I think he has actually had all of those hauls. So this is why you don't want a player that's going to do 4.5 points a game forever.
Yeah.
Brian's just said that Dan goes out, which is also true. Yeah. So they are obviously missing Dango while he's away at AFCON. So, is it a case of that the Sharda train runs for maybe 4 or 5 weeks, in which case this could be the perfect time to buy him?
Yeah.
Like this, it could be like, okay, get him for these next 5 games: Spurs, Everton, Sunderland, Forest, and then when he hits Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal, you just go, thanks very much, I'll see you later, and move him on to, I don't know, Enzo Fernandez for West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. Like, that feels like a really
Enzo. There's no Enzo. Enzo doesn't exist. And I was, do you know what I was thinking? Here, Enzo had a shot, and I was like, my God, how has he gone from being a player that we were all to no, he's dead. He's dead.
Just done.
Okay, we're not buying Charlotte.
Okay.
Thiago, if you got him, you definitely hold him.
Yes. I think it might be. Yeah. I was going to say let's pivot back to Ekitike now, but there's no point.
No, we can do other teams.
Yeah. Right. So then 2 more games: West Ham, Fulham.
Dull teams.
I'm still surprised that Bowen didn't actually manage to get a goal in this game, though. Like Bowen's chances are never going to be high quality because of where he hits the ball from, but you'd never be unsurprised. Is that the right word? Shocked if those went in. If those go in.
I said it a few weeks ago. I say the same. He is Harry Wilson, but £2 million more expensive. They're basically the same player.
But he also plays further forward, and he
doesn't. They play the exact same position. They're literally in the same part of the pitch. You look at their heat maps, just compare them every game. They're basically the same player.
Fair enough. I'm saying that because I obviously have not looked at their heat maps.
They did the same thing. They're literally the same player every week. We'll drift off to the right. We'll do that. We'll hit some bangers from 20 yards. We'll do most of the stuff. We'll be a very focal part of this attack. The difference is that Bowen is very reliable for minutes. Harry Wilson has now played the most minutes he's ever played in a Premier League season because he normally gets injured for it. But Bowen, doesn't take as many set pieces as Harry Wilson. But it's the same one as the shot from Wilson is an unbelievable save from Areola. But you kind of almost expect he will make that shot. And it's the same with Bowen is when he gets to the 20 yards out and it's not actually that great quality, but you just kind of expect he'll unerringly find the corner. Like they're good at that stuff, but they don't have enough volume of it to make you go, yay.
Yeah, okay. There is also that when Bowen does score, he will take all the bonus, whereas Wilson won't always get it.
No.
He has done recently, in fairness, but then he's been double returning for weeks.
But what I'm saying is these guys, your Wilsons, your KDHs, any of these guys around that have like avenues to points, they're pretty important to their team. They're dirt cheap. And Bowen isn't dirt cheap. I'm still not convinced when I'm watching Thiago. Like, if I watched Thiago this week, and I'm like, Thiago should have had more points than Bowen this week. It's still my view on that. I'm like, I still quite like Thiago probably more than Bowen. Because West Ham are gonna spend some money in January as well.
Yeah.
And then he gets shifted further right, because he always gets shifted further right.
Well, why don't we just save some money? Why don't we save some money and go Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Who's going to score forever and ever and ever? Legitimately just an absolute nightmare for defenders at the moment as well. When he gets so when he gets that
every week you put in his bloody picture with no arms on.
I know, it's amazing. It's because he keeps getting 3 bonus. Like I can't stop putting him on here, and he keeps getting 3 bonus. I mean, the thing for me is the run he makes for the goal. You can see the switch go in his head, like when he's like, "I have to now make the run." And when he makes that run, like no chance anyone's catching him. He's always going to get there. He's always going to get to the ball first. And it didn't matter whether he was like his hold up play was fantastic. Like Aronson could have had a goal in the first half just from the work rate that Calvert-Lewin did bringing the ball down. He's right now he's an absolute menace. Like
he's nothing but a number 9, is he? Like he's not. He's an unapologetically number 9. Like there's not many of them. That's what I say. Like if you take Thiago, if you take Haaland, you take DCL, there's not many others of those guys where you're like, those are straight up 9s. He ain't a lot of money for a straight up 9.
Yeah.
But the fixtures for Leeds,
they are tough. They've got 2 really difficult.
Those next 3.
Yeah. the Liverpool away, Newcastle away, and then United just being the United game at home. I mean,
Yeah, it'd be feisty.
yeah, it'll be exactly. So you could end up with a point. I mean, would you be surprised if he doesn't score next week though? Oh, sorry. Would you be surprised if he scored next week? Like, I wouldn't be
No, I
surprised if
wouldn't
he
be.
scored.
I mean, I want him to be because I won't have Virgil van Dijk, so I want him to score. But
Still got him. Oh my god.
is I would want him to, but like you say, do I? Am I going to buy him in? I don't think I will. It's still that part of me that says if I'm going to do it, it's so I've only got like Haaland +1.
Yeah.
I can't let go of the fact that Guiu at 4.2. I know he's last on my bench, but I can't let go of the fact of for now it's so horrifically cheap. Of like such a weird freak thing where we've got somebody like we've never had someone that cheap that just sits around and you're like, well, brilliant. I've now just can spend all my money on other guys. That I just don't think I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
I
fair
don't
enough.
think I'm going to do it. It'd have to be third. It'd have to be my third striker, I think.
You'd also feel a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't got any depth in defence, then it's obviously a problem because you're almost committing to 3 formations. Like that's it. You're done. You're like 3-5-2, 4-4-2,
Yeah.
4-5-1. That's it. Like no one's going 5-4-1. But they're the 3 you're committing to, right? So you feel like you need to have a cheapo midfield. You almost need to have. Well, you don't want to have a cheapo midfielder, do you? You want all the money in your midfield, really.
We say that, and then when they turn in with no points, we're like, "Oh no, we've messed up."
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, it's
I don't know. They're both difficult. They're both. I mean, any player from here is difficult to buy. I mean, with your road on money, like I've still got Goodmanson. I think I've still got Goodmanson. Do I? Yeah, I still have Goodmanson. And I can't move him on there. He's like 3.8, and I just can't do anything with him. I've got 3.8 Goodmanson and 4.2 Mark Yu.
Is Goodmanson 3.8 now?
Yeah, I think he's 3.8 now.
Gee, why are these guys dropping?
Yeah,
They used to be nice to these guys and just leave them laying around.
I got Goodmanson in like game week 4, and he's like the worst. He's like the worst squad pick that I've had, like by far. Disaster. What are you doing with your road on money anyway?
I don't know. What do you mean? What am I doing with the road on money?
Well, you're going to go to you're going to sell road on, I assume, at some point. Or you're just going to leave him on your bench injured.
I don't know how long he's out for. Does he? It depends how long he's out for.
Well, okay.
It'd have to be. I'd have to desperately need it. But I am obviously if Rodden's out, I'm now running on potentially fumes here in terms of guys, aren't I?
Yeah, as Alon said to Walsh once, you need depth.
I need some depth.
You need depth.
Yeah. I need some depth.
Okay, should we have a look at the fixtures?
Yeah.
For next week before we look at teams. So we haven't got any lovely Rob T data yet.
Bob.
I sent him a message. I wished him a Merry Christmas. And
what's he doing? Been enjoying the festivities or something?
Yeah, I know these.
This is an outrage.
Disgraceful. I just had a quick double check, and yeah, game week 18 is still there. So it's what it is. So, in fact, should we just go straight into teams then? Because we're picking for longer term than just.
Let's just do our teams.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So I've got one transfer. I've got 1.1 million. Verbruggen, fine. Keane, fine. O'Reilly, fine. Timber, don't know if fine. That's issue number 1. Then I've got Semenyo, possibly gets one more game, but it's going to go soon. Albeit, I suddenly was thinking about this. I assumed if Semenyo went to City that I then was in problems because they've got 4. But if I sold O'Reilly, I wouldn't have that problem.
No, you just wouldn't have Cherky.
No, I'd have Foden, Semenyo, and Haaland instead.
Yeah, sounds fine.
So maybe I don't need to sell Semenyo. No. Saka, Foden, Wilson, Cunha, Haaland, Ekitike. I've got captain on Haaland at the moment. I'm expecting that I have a non-playing bench right now in Richards, Roden, and Guiu. That's what I'm expecting. So I really need Timber to be okay. I really need Timber to be okay. There is so in the fixtures, let me just make sure I say this right before do so. The Arsenal game is at 8:15. It's a 6 p.m. kickoff on Tuesday. So I'm likely to leave it very, very late because if Timber is okay and we get any positive news on Richards, because I think Glasner's still saying, I don't know on it, and obviously it's Thursday as well, so he's really not going to know. Then I don't really want to make a defensive transfer if I can help it. I'm not huge on doing it. Because, like, if Timber might play, let's just say I went Roden to Dorgu, for example, or Roden to Dallo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'd still start him. I'd just put him first bench.
Yeah.
Making a transfer.
Yeah, I mean, your ideal here is for Timber to be fit and you just roll this. Like, that's what you want to do.
I could roll it. I don't like rolling that. Because the other option is that I can move Semenyo on. And just take that situation out. Because Chelsea away is still not a good fixture. Like, I don't trust Bournemouth at all at the moment. Like, he's managing to scrape himself a goal. But we have still got, like, let's just say he is around for another week. It is still away at away at Chelsea and then home to Arsenal for his next 2 games.
There was someone's mentioned that he might just pick up a booking against Chelsea as well, in which case you just get a 1-pointer, then he misses the Arsenal game anyway.
Exactly. You just, like, it is a problem. So my ideal would be that I sold Semenyo. Who I sold Semenyo to, I'm finding that really tough. Because Wirtz is right there, got a game against Leeds, but he's more money. So I'm taking more of that bank out. Rodgers is now getting quite expensive, and it's just not a good game. I think I'd rather keep Semenyo this week than get Rodgers in this week. So I wouldn't do it. And then there's Gordon, which just feels like it feels like it could be fantastic, but it also feels like it could just blow up in your face. So much. Do you know what I mean? Like Burnley away on Tuesday night, and then you've got a good break till Sunday, and then you've got home to Palace. They're 2 fantastic fixtures. That feels to me like the upside play to chase. But it also, I've been burnt many times on Anthony Gordon. Yep. Me and him have not been friends many times. So we'll see.
Okay. I will. I'll go through my team. If you want to drop your camera once again, I think you just knocked out of sync just quickly. But I will go through mine. So the observant will notice that I've made 2 transfers already. So I have taken out Semenyo and I have taken out Senesi, and I have replaced them with Cunha and Dallo. So I am like on full target Wolves mode right now, as much as possible, just trying to grab as many points as I can. So I got Raya in goal because it's Raya, right? As weird as, like I said to you before the pod started, you wouldn't be tempted on a cheeky Dubravka. at home against his old club, maybe. Don't know. So that would be the wildest switch up ever, to be honest. But also at the same time, I'd kind of like to have Raya in goal so that when they concede, I feel good about it, rather than bench him and then he cleans. Like, imagine that happens. That'd be really annoying. So then I've got O'Reilly, I've got Virgil van Dijk still, and Dalot, Elliot Anderson, Wirtz, Cunha, Saka, Foden. I think that's probably one of the best 5 midfielders you can have this week. And Haaland and Ekitike. So I've got Anderson on my bench at the moment, and Goodmanson, and then Guiu, obviously, Dubravka. People keep asking, where's Michael Keane? I can't take another hit for Michael Keane. Like, that can't happen. that can't happen. I can't take a -8 just to get Michael Keane in. Dalot was obviously 4.4 when I brought him in. So I actually I made these moves last night because Dalot and Cunha both went up, basically. So I realised that like 20 past midnight or whatever that these are probably the moves I was going to make, and if I was going to make those moves, then I was going to need to do them last night. So I did.
Yep.
We do need to talk about Ekitike because he looked knackered, and he came off. Did he come off clutching his hamstring or something? He was tight.
Again.
He was definitely tight. So
makes it hard. I mean, obviously, look, he could have been miles away in terms of points, but it still becomes that hard to captain guy when you just like, I am scared of his minutes.
Yeah.
Scared of his minutes. If Gakpo and so if you add Gakpo and Szoboszlai into the options that they could have rotated more, then that just brings everybody in to a potential. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous on it. Let's talk why Dalot over Dorgu.
No real reason, I guess. I don't think there was any real reason. I think people are looking at Dorgu yesterday because he scored points. Like, he scored a goal.
Yeah, well, he was in absurd positions in that first half, but obviously then he switches around and it all gets a bit.
But then Dalot was also getting into those absurd positions and he hit the bar. So let's say Dalot doesn't hit the bar and everyone goes, oh, then Dalot's the pick. Like, I know it's a toss-up. There is a thing here where
it's a lot cheaper though, isn't he, Dalot?
No, but that's
Dorgu's a lot cheaper than Dalot.
Of course. But if you have a 3.8 million defender and you have a 4.1 million defender and then you spend that money somewhere, then you're never getting rid of either of them. And that's like it. If at least I've got a 4.4 guy who's now a 4.5 guy, well, he's still 4.4 for me, I guess, then at least I feel a little bit more comfortable in having some money in him so I don't spend it elsewhere when I need to move Dalot to somebody else. Whenever that may be. And it might be a case of moving O'Reilly as well. But I don't think it's a case of like one or the other. I don't think it really matters. I think like Dalot's played more minutes.
I feel similar. I feel similar on Dalot than that. I feel that there's obviously Dorgu scores, so you're like, well, there's the goal threat of where it was. But Dalot's sneaky good on bonus. Like he's strong. Obviously they need to clean for that to happen, but he is in general pretty strong on it. I think you've got more chance that he could DEFCON. You're not going to get DEFCON for Dorgu. That's never going to happen. But yeah, I personally, I don't know. My brain likes. I think it's worth it. I think he's now 4.5 because you got him before he went up, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it's 4.5 versus 4.1 now.
Yeah.
So it's getting slightly wider.
Yeah.
With it, I think for me, if I was doing the bet on Roden, I was taking Roden out. I think I would still try and keep that price point because, like I say, you're doing it because you don't want two of those guys that cheap. Whereas I'd look at it and go, maybe I could.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would feel more comfortable with minutes from Dalot. Albeit Dalot's a bit of a utility guy, isn't he? Like he gets minutes in certain positions, but you're like, is he really first choice in any? You know, once Mazraoui and Ahmad are around. those guys. You know, like is
It's a completely different United setup. I don't think you want Dalot or Dorgu once those guys are back. So like either or you're transferring them out or you're parking them on a bench or something.
Mm.
And so, you know, why not take the guy that's got more money? Like the guy that's got more money is fine.
Yeah,
that costs more money is fine.
Yeah, I mean he's started the last 6. Dalot. That feels pretty comfortable. That's
Feels good.
Going back prior to AFCON, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's only been. Earliest he got taken off was 67 minutes, but he got 15 points in that game.
Yeah.
So
I'm comfortable.
It does feel pretty comfortable. And then Cunha cap
at the moment, yes. Again, I think it's fine to take on Haaland this week. I think just leaning into the target Wolves mentality, I think is fine. Yeah, I think it's as simple as that. We do have a super chat from Snako Senna or something like that. Semenyo and Hincapié to Szoboszlai or Bruno Guimaraes plus Gabriel for a -4. Yep. Works for me. Yep. Works for me. Who would you pick out of Szoboszlai or Bruno Guimaraes though? I'd probably punt on Bruno G.
Yeah, I probably would punt on Bruno G over Szoboszlai. I get it with Szoboszlai, but I think I've just always found that I think Bruno is the better pick.
Yeah, I mean he could have scored at the weekend as well. We didn't mention that. Like, obviously he gets one like a good save from a corner, so he's a threat. Even when he's not taking the corners, he's a threat.
Yeah. I just don't know about the Szoboszlai pick, and especially it's almost like because I don't know if Szoboszlai comes back and then does that make Wirtz slightly worse, or do I think Wirtz has just suddenly picked up this nice connection with Ekitike, and then Szoboszlai is just a crappy pick, and then Frimpong's now played and did all right, and I'm like, where does it all mean? What does it all mean? Where's everyone going?
Do I get to circle back to game week 1 where I say Frimpong's the number 1 pick? It's just number one. It might be the number 1 right back again.
Do you see what I mean? It's like I don't fully know exactly. I know that Szoboszlai's, which is weird, isn't it? Because one game out, because Szoboszlai's been their best player all season.
Yeah.
But I would take on Szoboszlai definitely.
Cool. Let's leave it there. Thank you very much to everyone.
Matt just pointed out that Dorgu's on 4 yellows. Didn't know that. It's one week, but it's still possible.
It's still possible. Yeah, good point. I didn't actually even notice that. I didn't actually look at bookings and stuff like that. But I guess that's a risk with Bruno G. I would put that out there. That is a risk for Bruno G. Is that he is still on 4 yellows. And so if he gets booked against Burnley, then he is a problem. So maybe Szoboszlai might be the safer pick for that reason. Maybe. Yeah, that's us. That's good. We're all done. 3Dog, I see you in the chat. I sent you a message on X, I think. You sent me one. I sent you one back. Just waiting for some details from you to send you your mug. I think it was a mug. Probably a mug. Yeah, I think it was a mug. Yeah, for everyone else, thank you very much for watching. Please do drop a like on the video on the way out. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. I apologise for the audio-visual delays that we saw earlier. We will keep trying and sorting those things out. But Game Week 19, last chance to join the mini league.
Yes.
W1TCH2 is the code. Last chance, and that'll be closing when the deadline closes.
On Tuesday. So yeah,
that's it, mate. I'll catch you later.
Nice. See you later.
Cheers, guys.